Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Live from Los Angeles, this is Dr. Erin, Dr. Divinity, and founder of Soulciete and Good Morning La La Land. We come together each day to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with the universal law. We also come together as a community in Soulciete as the number one spiritual leaders community in the world, committed to enlightenment, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. We truly believe that when somebody awakens, they have a gift and message to bring to the world. Together, we are awakening 1 billion people globally. Okay, let's do this thing. Abundance and prosperity, your birthright. Joseph Campbell said, people say that what they're seeking is the meaning of life. I don't think that's what we're seeking. I think what we're seeking is the experience of being fully alive. Which brings me to a great metaphor, a metaphor of heaven and hell. And it's a story, and it says, I once ascended to firmaments. I went and I saw hell, and it was horrifying. There were all these people, row after row of tables, laden with platters of extraordinary food and abundance. But the people all sitting on the edges of the table were moaning and groaning. They actually had their elbows strapped straight to these long, long spoons and forks. And they literally could not get the food to their mouth because they couldn't bend their elbows. And they were just looking so torturous and moaning and groaning. So next I visited heaven. And I was surprised to see it was the exact same setting. There was these long rows of tables with all this beautiful food all over. And all these people down all the edges were joyful and talking and laughing. And I noticed as they would pick up the food with their arms stretched, again, their elbows were not able to bend. They would take the food and get it into the long spoon or fork, and they would feed it to the person across the table. So I ran back to hell. I thought, look, this is what you guys do. Don't you know? All you do is you pick up the food and you can feed the person across the row, across the table from you. And the one man that I told, he said, what? I would never feed that disgusting person over there. I'd rather watch them die than feed them. And so the point is this, is that knowing that heaven and hell is right here, right now, that there is a shift that happens if we truly want to live in heaven, that if we truly want to experience joy and abundance. And that is that we serve, that we give that which we seek, and that we work for the highest good. And so in this, coming back to today's topic of abundance and prosperity, which is your birthright, right? I mean, the universe only knows abundance. That's the truth. So how do we tap into this? How do we live in abundance? We know that obviously it's a shift in mind. It's a shift in who we're being. It's a shift of knowing and innovating versus looking at, the problem. It's shifting from scarcity mentality into abundance mentality. It's shifting the mind with the blink of consciousness. And so with every aspect of life, spirit desires love and connection. And that's truly heaven. We can have all the abundance. We can have all the money. We can have all the things. But if we don't have deep connection and relationship, we know that we will never be fulfilled. And we know this through things like the Harvard study of the 25-year study where they studied people over time and they wanted to know, what had people become successful? What had people become fully fulfilled? And the common denominator of the people that were truly fulfilled, because it wasn't necessarily the amount of money that made them fulfilled, it was the depths of their relationships in their life. So knowing this, we have to shift. There's a shift of what it means to be abundant. What does it mean to have prosperity? We know that it's said that around $70,000 beyond, that it doesn't necessarily make us happier. In LA, of course, it's a lot more than that probably, but the standard average income across America beyond 70,000 doesn't mean that somebody's more happy. They may have more things, but it doesn't equate to more happiness. Better relationships equate to more fulfillment and abundance. So there's a book called The Cultural Creatives. It's by Paul H. Ray, PhD, and Sherry Ruth Anderson. And it is about the cultural creatives. It's kind of like a new wave of movement in our culture. And they say that there's 50 million people in America who are tired of the emphasis of modern culture and the old paradigm of what success means. They say that these 50 million people's, basically their values have shifted, that they literally look and see what they value and what's abundant and what's prosperous is their spirituality, their psychological levels, their well-being, their innovation, their love, their nature. And they basically encourage us to invest in education and care for the environment and care for the people around us, and basically having this shift into the collective consciousness and looking at how we can help and eradicate, different things that are hurting our culture. And that's truly the success of the new wave. And I believe that, of course. I see that all the time. The clients I work with and the gals who come into Soulciete, my must-have for working with anybody is that they have to want to heal themselves and better themselves so that they want to make a difference in the world. I used to work with, some top celebrities, and I just found that it wasn't really the case. It felt like they were really, and I'm not saying all celebrities for sure are not like this, but some, and some of the addicts I was working with, they were very much about getting better so that they can have more and that they can be successful, instead of going, I want to heal, I want to get better, I want to advance myself so that I want to make a difference in the world. And so for me, I've made it really clear within my business that that's my must-have for working with anybody. Otherwise, my energy doesn't multiply abundantly and go out to the world. So, there's a famous book. It's called The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. I'm sure probably everybody's heard of that. And he discusses basically the hero within. He indicates that the hero is a symbol of our ability to control the savage within, that dark part of ourselves. And it's basically a life of self-discovery, a life of courageous acts. The Star Wars series was based off of this book. And, in that movie, obviously it's a iconic movie. Luke Skywalker finds the Force within, and he finds the power of the character to meet his destiny. And I think that's the point, is that within each and every one, that is our destiny. Our destiny is that aspect of ourselves that's the truth. What is the truth of who you are? And that really is destiny, because whether it's in this lifetime or we go back to the light, that's who we are, and when you get clear of your immortality and you get clear of what we're really here for, we're here to advance consciousness and really experience heaven in a 3D realm. So basically, Luke Skywalker, he discovers that he can overcome his evil and be set free. Because just like the universal law, as we entangle into the dysfunction and the chaos and discord, we live in hell. We can't get out. We're trapped, right? And as we become more harmonious, we know the truth, we unentangle from all the dysfunction, we're set free. It's boundless. We can create infinitely and feel no bounds. We feel our true power. And that's the point of a spiritual awakening, is to really find the hero, the truth of who we are within. Joseph Campbell says he makes the distinction between a celebrity and a hero. And he says that one lives for the self while the other acts to redeem society. In seeking truth and wisdom, you must look beyond the realm of illusion and regain your true self. And so today's daily spiritual practice is to give yourself fully to life. Today's universal law is a law of circulation. All of life is an exchange of energy, a flow of giving and receiving. This is the current of consciousness, at an expanding rate, multiplied abundantly. Through this dynamic exchange, the universe instantaneously responds to what you give to life. You reap what you sow. That's the law of circulation. And so again, today's practice is to give yourself fully to life. So this is the truth. There's only one explanation for any experience of lack, of flow, or the feeling of being stuck, or even being sad. It's because you're not giving yourself to life. Where in life are you being stingy? Where is it? If you want love, you got to give love. If you want money, you got to give value. Where do you feel stuck? And that's where you have to give to life. That's the counterintuitive aspect of life. Where in life do you hold yourself back from giving your time, treasures, or talents to the world? How have you been suppressing yourself? How have you been holding yourself back from life? And so that's the question today, knowing that your birthright is prosperity and abundance, that there is only that. That's the truth of who you are. That's the truth of the universe. That is the truth. It's your birthright. So if you want to have prosperity and abundance, you got to get mad. You got to decide. You got to say, this is my birthright. This is who I am. It's in my DNA. It is infinite, infinite, infinite. And so I know all those equations that we can put together, elements, unlimited amounts of different equations, the way that our DNA can communicate, the way that there are in the elements that we can put them together infinitely. There's infinite, infinite, infinite ways of innovating. And so in this knowing, I just know your birthright. I know whatever you decide in mind is done, done, done. As together we say, and so it is. And so on that note, have a beautiful day, and may you live your truth. Thanks again for tuning in to Dr. Erin and Soulciete podcast. I'd like to invite you to write a review on iTunes. Also, I have a free gift for you, a money meditation and worksheet, which you can find at soulciete.com. That's www.soulciete.com. Or 30 guided meditations at drerin.tv. That's www.drerin.tv. We also hold monthly Soulciete events that are all about transformation and building extraordinary community. You can also watch me live daily on goodmorninglalaland.com or Instagram at drerin.tv. Grab your free manifestation masterclass with the purchase of my international best-selling book, Awakening, a 40-day guide to unleashing your spiritual powers, life purpose, and manifesting your dreams at erinfallhaskell.com/awakening book.